Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I'm making this Smoky Poblano chicken and jasmine rice one-pot meal, and this could not be any easier, so let's get started with the ingredients. So first off, I've got 2 cups of cooked chicken here, and you want that either diced or shredded, and that's about 10 to 12 ounces or about 350 grams. And I've got 1 cup of jasmine rice. This is uncooked and I have rinsed it. This is about 190 grams. Then I've got 2 poblano peppers, and I'm going to roast these, and I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. And that's about 200 grams for those. And then I've got 1 cup of whole kernel corn. You can either use fresh, frozen, or canned. If you use the canned, make sure you drain it, and that's about 150 grams. I've got 1 small onion here. I've got that diced. I've got 3 cloves of garlic, and that's minced. I've got 2 cups of chicken broth, and that's about 480 milliliters. And I'm going to be using between 1 and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I've got 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, a half a teaspoon of ground cumin, and I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. This is optional. I like a little bit of heat in my dishes. If you don't want to put that in there, you definitely don't have to. So let's get started roasting our poblanos now. You can definitely do this if you've got a gas stove. You can put this over the gas stove. If you don't have a gas stove, you can definitely put this on a tray and put this in the oven, and you can turn your oven up on broil. And you want to broil these for about 5 to 10 minutes on each side. And what we want to see with that, and I'll show you what we're going to look like once we get started with that, you want the skin to blister on these, and this is going to add that nice smoky flavor to these, and it's also going to help remove that outer skin off of these on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stove here cranked up, and we'll come back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. All right, so I've got my flame here, and I've got my poblano, and I've got one of these forks like this that you would use when you're barbecuing. I'm going to take that and I want to stick that into the end of the poblano just like that. And that way that'll give me a safe distance from the flame, and I'll be able to put that over that. Now, if you don't have one of these forks, you can definitely put a wire rack on the flame here, and that'll keep it from getting on that. If you hear that popping on the outside, that's exactly what you want to hear. So we'll just kind of keep turning this around, and we're looking for that outer skin to blister on that. So just keep a watch on that. You can see how that's already starting to blister because I've got that right down on that flame. And I'm going to keep turning these around until I get this one completely done, and then I'll show you what we'll do next. All right, now that I've got that one charred, you can see what that looks like. I've got a glass bowl here. I'm just going to put it into a glass bowl, and then I'm going to put some saran wrap over the top of it, or if you've got one of the bonnets, you can put over the top of that. We want that to steam to work that in there, so I'm going to continue to work on my poblanos, the other one that I've got, and then I'll put these down, and we're going to let these set for about 15 to 20 minutes so these can steam, and that way that skin will come off. So I'm going to continue to work on my next one, and I'll be back and we'll move on to removing that skin. Now, as I work on my second one here, if you choose to put these into your broiler, you might want to puncture a little hole on the side of it, because we definitely don't want any gases to build up in there and have that explode in your oven. So definitely, if you're going to cook these onto the broiler, then just punch a little hole in the side of it with a knife, and that'll keep that from popping and exploding in your oven. All right, it's been 20 minutes now. Let's check on my poblano peppers, and I did cover mine with some saran wrap here. So I did roast an extra one. I'm going to be using that for something else. So I wanted to show you how this works now. Now, while I'm going to work on these, I have turned my oven on now, and I'm preheating that to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's 175 degrees Celsius. And with this, we want to just take this and we want to rub the skin off the outside, and it'll just come right off in your hands. So at this point, we're going to take that skin off of the outside. And if you want to use a paper towel, you definitely can do that. I'll get one of those and show you what that looks like. You just take the paper towel and you can just rub it. It might come off a little bit faster that way. And you can see how much more flexible the peppers have gotten now since we started this process. So this is going to add a lot of flavor to these, and it also removes that outer membrane that's on the outside of those peppers. All right, so I got the skin removed off the outside of that one. I'm going to go ahead and grab my next one and get started, and I'll work on the other ones. All right, I've got the skins removed on the outside of the poblanos. Now let's go ahead and get those prepared. So I've got a knife here, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to take the end of that off just like this. Take that part that was connected to the plant. And I'm going to give that a cut down the side here. And I'm going to open it up and I'm going to take out those seeds. And then we'll get ready to start preparing the poblanos for the dish. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and take this membrane out here as well. All right, so now that I've got the seeds removed out of those, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to dice these up. First, I'm going to cut these in long strips first. And by roasting these, it makes them so soft and pliable so that we can do this part really easily. And then I'm just going to take it and just going to dice them up a little bit. All right, I've got that one diced up. I'll work on the other one and I'll come back and we'll get started in this dish. Have everything ready to go because this is going to go really quickly once we get started. All right, so let's start building our flavor base now. I've got my Dutch oven here over the flame and it's on a medium high, and I'm going to add into that about 1 to 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put just enough olive oil on the bottom of that just to kind of get that covered a little bit on the bottom. So depending on the size of the bottom of the pot you have, you might need a little bit more or a little bit less. We're going to let that heat up now. All right, now that my Dutch oven is heated up, I've got my onions here. Let's go ahead and add those in. And I've got my roasted poblanos. We'll add those in on top of the onions. So now I'm going to cook these for about 5 to 6 minutes, and we want these to soften up a little bit. I know the poblanos have already softened up, but the onions haven't. So we'll give that a good stir around and get those onions and poblanos all mixed together and get those softened up 5 to 6 minutes. All right, it's been 5 minutes now, and I can tell by looking at this that my onions and my poblanos have really softened up. So now I'm going to take my garlic and I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to let that saute for about 30 seconds to a minute. You don't want to let that go any further than that because garlic has a tendency to want to try to burn. So now I've got my rice here, and again, that is rinsed, and I'm going to go ahead and add that in now. And we want to toast this a little bit before we go any further with it. And that's just going to add an extra depth of flavor to that once that gets a little toasted. And we're going to let this saute for a minute or two until that gets a little toasted on that. We'll keep everything stirring around. Now it's been 3 minutes now. My rice is looking really good, and I really am liking the smell that's coming off from that. It's giving off a nice flavor to that. Now I'm going to add in my chicken. Now again, this is where I took and stewed my chicken breast. If you want to use rotisserie chicken, you can definitely do that. That'll cut down on some of the time of that. But if you've got some, I've used breast meat here, but if you've got dark meat, you want to use that, you can definitely use that. It's completely up to you. And let's give that a stir around now. Now, if you forget any of the ingredients that I've got, I'll put the link in the description box below for the full recipe and the instructions on that. So take a look at that when you get ready to make this. So now let's add our corn in. And I'm going to give that a little bit of a toss through. Now I've got my chicken stock here. I'm going to add that in. All right, so now we want to check the level of our stock, and I can see here I need just a little bit more. What we're looking for is we want this to be completely submerged. So I'm going to go grab some more chicken stock, and I'll be right back. Now with your chicken stock, like I said earlier, we want this to be covered up. Now if you have a smaller stock pot where you don't have it as wide as I do this one is a new one for me. This is the Tramontina 7 quart, so it might be a little bit wider across the bottom, but I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. That's taking almost 3 cups of my stock. I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of it in there, and you might need a little bit more, need a little bit less depending on how big your bottom of your stock pot is that you're using in your Dutch oven, and just give that a good stir around. Now I've got my salt here for my seasoning. I'm going to hold off on putting that in there. I'm going to taste it for seasonings right before I put it into that oven, but we're going to bring this up to a simmer because my stock has got salt in it, and you definitely want to minimize that. So hold off on your salt as we're checking that. We'll give that a taste in just a minute. So now we're going to put in our black pepper, our smoked paprika, the cumin, and my red pepper flakes. I'm going to give that a good mix through to get all of that incorporated into the dish. All right, I've turned my flame up now to a medium high, and I want that to come up to a gentle simmer, and I'm going to let that simmer here for 2 to 3 minutes once that gets going. All right, it's come to a gentle simmer now. I'm going to turn that back down. I'm going to let this sit here for 2 to 3 minutes, and that's just going to kind of jump start that rice to cooking. All right, it's been 3 minutes now, and I'm going to go ahead and give that another stir around, and you can see that broth is starting to cook off of that. So I'm going to grab me a spoon here, and I want to check this for seasoning. I want to check the stock and see what it tastes like. So grab me a little bit of that. Check it for seasoning, for salt. If you need to add anything else, do it now before any more of that broth gets cooked off. That is really nice. I'm going to go ahead and add the salt that I've got here. And if you need to add any more, definitely do that at this point. All right, now that I've got my seasoning added to it, I'm going to go ahead and give that a stir through. I'm going to put the lid on my Dutch oven and I'm going to transfer that now to the oven. We want to bake this for about 30 to 35 minutes. And you do not want to open that up on that. You want to leave that in there because we want that steam to cook that rice so it can get nice and tender. Now, once you pull this out of the oven and we test it, you want to do that very carefully and you'll check your rice. If it's not done enough for you and a lot of the broth is gone, then you can add in 2 or 3 more tablespoons of your broth and put that back in the oven and let that cook for another 5 to 10 minutes till your rice gets done. If you've got plenty of broth in there still and the rice is not done, then put it back into the oven, let it cook another 5 to 10 minutes. I'll come back and show you what we're going to do because we're not finished with this dish yet. I'm going to put this in the oven and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's check our dish now to see how it looks. That looks absolutely incredible. My stock is cooked down now. Now I want to come in with a clean fork and I'm just going to test it for flakiness, and that looks really good. Now I've got a bowl here and I want to give this a little test to see how it is, if I need to put any more stock in there and cook it a little bit longer, or if the rice is not done. This is when you want to test it now. That is absolutely delicious. My rice has cooked and it is nice and tender. So let's take this up a little bit more, and I've got 1.5 cups, so that's about 150 grams of some shredded cheddar cheese, and you can use any cheese that you like. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle that around the top. Now you might need a little bit more, might need a little bit less depending on how wide your Dutch oven is, but I love cheese, so I'm going to go ahead and put more here. And if I decide I want some more, you can always add some more to it. It's completely up to you. This is what's nice about making these dishes at home, is you control what type of cheese you've got and how much you're going to put on it. All right, I've got my cheese on here now. I'm going to put that back into that oven, same temperature that we've cooked it on, and we're going to cook this for another 8 to 10 minutes. We want that cheese to melt, and if you want to turn it up on broil for about a minute, I would keep a watch on it, and you want to brown the cheese on the top, you can definitely do that. I'll come back and we'll move on to the next step. All right, I just got my Smoky Poblano chicken and jasmine rice out of the oven. My cheese is melted. I've got just a little bit of lemon here, and I'm going to squeeze that over the top. Now I'm going to let this sit here on the counter for about 5 to 10 minutes before I cut into it. We want that to kind of settle down, and it will continue to cook just a little bit longer and get that cheese nice and melty. We'll come back and I'll show you what this looks like, and we'll do a taste test. This looks absolutely delicious. I'm going to get me a scoop of this and give this a try. Let's get some of that gooey cheese in there. That looks so good, and that rice. Those poblano peppers, I know it's going to be fantastic. I know you're going to love this recipe. Give this one a try. If you make this, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more delicious recipes.